Hi, this is Belinda from Belinda's Book Nook, and welcome. We're going to talk today about Women's History Month. I was inspired. I was thinking about books I own, some I've read that I really like, that I want to reiterate that I like them for possible recommendations, and then some that I had not finished or haven't read that I want to get to. So I will not even waste time talking about anything else. I'm going to get right into it. So I just like kind of combed my shelves really briefly and picked up a couple of, all right, maybe more than a couple of books. Some of these are just nonfiction flat out, and others are historical fiction, which I think are always great because they pull you in and they make you become a researcher and you just want to know more. So I have a little bit of both. So we'll start, I guess, with the nonfiction because those are ones that people tend to gravitate less to sometimes. This first one I have not read. Actually, I've read quite a few of them. But I did get this one. I feel like I got this a while back, and I keep saying I'm going to read it for Women's History Month, and I don't. And it's just like I always end up having mysteries I'm reading for March Mystery Madness or other things, and I just don't get to the book. So this is one I have on my shelf that I thought I would share with you guys. That sounds like a really great book to read, and it's called African American Women in the Civil Rights Movement, and it's called Lighting the Fires of Freedom by Janet DeWart Bell, and it has a fantastic black and white. I like black and white photos. They just speak so much more, isn't it funny, than the color? But that's this one. And it's not very long, so it's probably fast to read. But this one, it says they lit the fire of freedom and kept those fires alive and burning bright. The 9 African American women who tell their stories here were the heart and soul of the civil rights movement. Unlike some male counterparts, they are not household names, but the movement could not have accomplished what it did without their fervent participation. I'll leave it at that because I have quite a few books. I don't want to read too much, but you can actually look up and see if you're interested in this one. But this one I thought would be really, really great book to read for Women's History Month. This one, sometimes you get so excited. I saw these authors talk, and the book was out at the time, and then I was hardcover. And you know how I really like to get the paperback. And in the discussion, they talked about the release date of the paperback. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to just wait, get the paperback. And when I get it, I'm just going to tear through it. And I'm going to show you how new this book looks because it has not been read yet. This one is called A Black Woman's History of the United States, and it has a revised afterword. I think that this is the latest edition, and it's by Dana Rami Berry and Callie Nicole Gross, or Gross. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. But this is the cover. It's a cool cover. I really like it, and I love its paper. But now, why I probably haven't gotten to it yet, but this is probably the year that I will get to more of these books that I put off like this because I'm reading a lot more books for the anti-brain rot. So ironically, that might be the way to get me back to reading some of the books that I get more intimidated with. But this book, it's got really tiny, tiny writing. So it has to be compelling to keep me going. I just need, like Warmth of the Other Suns. Remember, I always talk about that. That book was so great because it was like watching a movie, you're just reading it. And it was such a great storytelling, but true, right? So I'm hoping that this will be the same idea. These two, they're award-winning historians, compile over 400 years of Black women's stories, highlighting the versatility of their experiences and celebrating Black womanhood and resilience from past to present, showcasing their lives and all of their fraught complexities. The result is a starting point for exploring Black women's history and a testament to the beauty, richness, tragedy, rage, and joy of their lives. To understand Black women's history is to know America's history, right? And so now you read that, and I just want to read it now. If you get a chance to look them up, talking about this book, really great discussions. Like, it'll make you want to read the book. It'll make you want to get it. So there's that one. Here's another one that I did not read. I got this one. I can't remember how I came across it. And you know what would be great is as I read these, trying to cross-reference and see which things are included or the completely new stories. You know, are they talking about the same things or what have you? But this one is called How Black Women Broke Barriers, Won the Vote, and Insisted on Equality for All. And it's called Vanguard is the name of it. And that's the back of it. So it's Vanguard, How Black Women Broke Barriers, Won the Vote, and Insisted on Equality for All. And it's by Martha S. Jones. And this is also an updated version. But let me tell you, I love this picture so much on the front of it. It would just be a really great painting. And here it is. Let me just show you instead of drooling over it without showing you. Isn't that really nice? I hope you can see it. And so this one here, in Vanguard, acclaimed historian Martha S. Jones offers a new history of African American women's political lives in America. She recounts how they defied both racism and sexism to fight for the ballot, and how they wielded political power to secure the equality and dignity of all persons. From the earliest days of the Republic to the passage of the 1965 Voting Rights Act and beyond, Jones excavates the lives and works of Black women Maria Stewart, Frances Ellen Watkins Harper, Fannie Lou Hamer, and more, who were vanguards of women's rights, calling on America to realize its best ideals. So this one definitely looks like a good one as well. And once again, we have that font phobia. It used to be about the thickens. Now it's about the font. It could be thick, but come on, just throw me a bone and give me something that's like not teeny tiny writing. So have to be read in the daylight in an upright position to make it through sometimes. So there's that one, which is a great one also for you guys. I'm going to also point to this one right here that's beside me. I don't know if you can see it, and I'm going to read it up. I have two books. This is one that is I consider a treasure. I have this sitting up in my office, and I definitely take time to look through it very frequently because I am just inspired by this artist, and it's Bisa Butler, called Portraits. I mean, the cover alone, right? It just makes me happy. But this is a great one to get, to look at, Black artists, and she's here and alive today. And again, just look inside. Right? I remember showing you guys this. Now, what you don't know is that she does this all with fabric. So she quilts. She uses all sorts of fabrics, African fabrics and various fabrics to create. I'm only going to show you one more because then I don't want to cause trouble. But she does that with fabrics. It's unbelievable. Look up Bisa Butler and Line, and you will just go down a rabbit hole of looking at her art. It is absolutely stunning. I would love to meet her. I definitely want to go see. I think she has an exhibit coming up this year or maybe next year that she's working on that. I mean, I'm flying to go wherever because I definitely want to see it. But yeah, so this one is a great one to read. She has stuff in here that she talks about, the different people that she uses for the quilts that she makes. But I kid you not, if you were ever to get one coffee table book, this is it, because it's beautiful how she expresses her art and how she comes up with her topics for her work, and I just can't stop gushing. And like I said, it stays up forever in my craft room because I just think that people will be talking about her for years to come beyond her lifespan because I think it's incredible. So there's that. And then the other one that I would consider a coffee table book as well, but actually really great to read. And I have read some of this. I have not completed it because I just read here and there. I'll pick it up and read some. And that's how I kind of treat coffee table books. I never read cover to cover. I just kind of have dances with it, we get together and we meet up and we have tea, I'm talking to a friend, and then I put it back down and I'll come back again and I'll read some more. And this one I remember showing you guys. This one, this woman is Jessica Nabongo, and she is the name of the book is called um, "The Catch Me If You Can: One Woman's Journey to Every Country in the World." And one of the things that struck me and was making me so happy is that, being a person of color, a black person, when you see travel magazines and things like that, it's usually white people. It's not anybody of color, very rarely, and very, very rarely do you get to see black people. So to see on a cover of a book a woman, a black woman that has traveled the entire world and gone to all these different countries. I think she paired up with National Geographic. She was initially doing them in the National Geographic, I think, and her hooked up. And then this book came to be. It's just fun, like sometimes to just go like this, like, you get your tea and you get your snack and then you just open. See, look, now we can read about Colombia and her experience there. She tells you about certain places that she thought were interesting. Sometimes it's a restaurant, sometimes it's just a little, something about, what's going on. Look at this, Indonesia. This is her on the beach. I mean, it's just beautiful. I just love it. I think that everybody should have this one as well. I just think that it's important. And it just gives you also little glimpses of different countries, places that you probably would never have thought about. So there's that. Two muskets. All right, so now I'm going to move on to a historical. I'm going to call this a historical fiction. I don't believe this is called this is not a nonfiction. This is a historical fiction. In 2024, Tyler Perry did a movie, and I don't know if it was based on this book, but it was called The 6888, and it followed these women, these soldiers. Yeah, let's just say it down here. So inspired by the pioneering black women of the 6888 Battalion. I don't know if they consulted Jashonda Sanders, who wrote this book, which is called Women of the Post, to write it. I'm not sure. To make the movie, rather. But the movie was phenomenal. If you do get a chance to watch it, I really enjoyed it. It's a piece of history I haven't heard nothing about. So I still want to get back to this because because I feel like I want to know more about the characters. The movie did do a little bit. I don't know if this goes into it more or if these are all reimagined, but I think it would just be such a great read. I had started it because I was trying to read it before the movie came. I'm slow, so I didn't have enough time to finish it, so I didn't. So I am going to start it all over again when I do it. And then I think what I'll do is actually go back and watch the movie again if it's still, I think it was on Netflix or something. But this is called Women of the Post by Jashonda Sanders. This is the cover of it. And it's paperback. You can put it in your purse. You can read it, while you're in the train, in the car, wherever, the cafe. So there's that. Another one that was a start and a not finished. And it's not because the book was bad. I just I can't remember at the time what I was reading, and I had to try to finish it. And then I moved on to other things and I didn't come back. And I have that tendency to do that. So sometimes, there's a DNF where you just don't want to read something. And then there's books that you're hooked, but not, something else just catches your attention. And then you just lose traction. So I feel like I have to start this one again, but I feel like this is an important one. This one, I believe, is not a historical fiction. I believe this is nonfiction. I don't know if it says it in here. I know this sounds like this is all history. So this one is not a historical is not historical fiction. This is a nonfiction. And this is about the three mothers, how the mothers of Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X and James Baldwin shaped a nation, by Anna Malika Tubbs. It's a really cool cover. And I started it. I got all the way to I really can't believe I did that. It makes me mad. So I made it all the way to there, which is what, like 80 pages, 84 pages? And then I just didn't do it. I don't know. So anyway, I'm going to get back to it. I definitely would love to finish this one too. So this is a good one for you to check out. This one I did read, and if you go back, way back, way back, little old me, I did I think one of my first book chats was talking about Hidden Figures by Margot Shetterly. And pretty much everybody has heard, if they haven't seen the movie, which I really enjoyed. Um, and but I think it's really good to read the book. I think it's very important. You know, I had no idea that there were Black women working with NASA and the space program, in very important jobs. And I just think that it's really important to have the context and understand the time period that these women were able to achieve what they did in that time with all of the obstacles before them. I have so many flags in here. And I don't know what, I must have run out and then I put these might have been posted so when I was trying to get to different locations to get to the next one, because I have a bunch of flags in here already as well. But yeah, I do have a discussion on my channel. So if you want to go back and see some more of my thoughts on this before you read it or after you read it, it is in the catalog there. This next one is, we're going to go jump. We're going to go international for our women's history in this one. And I love this book. I would even want to reread it because there was so much vital information in it. And I'm not a rereader, but this one is called Unbowed, by a memoir of Wangari Maathai. And it says the first African woman and the first environmentalist to win the Nobel Peace Prize. This is a picture of her. She's so beautiful. Ton of flags. I remember when I read this, just like my heart aching when I realized the pillaging, the degree of what pillaging of the African continent has done for the people there and for the environment. This is a book to read, everybody can read, to motivate you to know that one person can make a difference. We all get kind of caught up in that big whirlwind of having to do a big grand gesture and having to have a lot of resources at hand to be able to make a difference. And this woman proved that that is not the case. And her legacy lives on because she just was an incredible person, and did such great work with regard to the environment and for the people in particular on the African continent. There are some pictures in here as well. It was really great. If you get a chance to read this, it's really a good book. It's great. It's really, really motivational, and and reminds us. It teaches you things, but it reminds us that we all count, we all matter, and we're all interconnected. So I love this one. And my final book, because I realized it was going to be a long video if I keep going with all these books. I absolutely adore this book. I'm glad I read it. I believe before she passed. If I can remember correctly, I think she was still with us. Or maybe she had just passed away. This is Just As I Am. This is Cicely Tyson's memoir. Wow. What, just in the back it says, in her long and extraordinary career. Yeah, Cicely Tyson has not only exceeded as an actor, she has shaped the course of history. Wow. What a woman. What, oh my God, she just spitting out gems in here. There is so much wisdom in here. I dare somebody to walk away from this book and not feel like there's something that they can take away from what she's talks about in here. It talks about her, I think she opened up and was very vulnerable in sharing, and it's pictures in here, great pictures in here, of her life and her struggles, and her relationship with Miles Davis is explored in here, and you get to, get an idea of, what that was like for her, and you get from her childhood, but oh my, I mean, wow. I'm so happy that I bought this book. I think it's a really, really great memoir, written really well by a classy lady that, deserves all of the flowers. So this was my final one. There are other ones I was going to honorably mention. I may make another video of some of my ebooks that I have about women's history, books that would get in that category. But I thought these were definitely, a lot of books for you guys to choose from. There is definitely one in here for you. So, these are, a lot easier to read. This one really goes by really fast. It was so good. And then I have these others that I have not read yet. So these I definitely want to get to. I know that I'm going to have to say I won't probably get them this time around, but I probably will try to start working on one of them, if not meant a couple of them this year, because I just don't want to go another year and have them, collecting dust. And one good thing is like looking at this one. Yeah, see, so the acknowledgements start there. So it's not as big as we thought. It's really only 200 and a little over 200 pages. It's this tiny writing that is just, but as I'm looking at this one, the way that it's broken down might really, they're almost like little essays, each chapter. So I could do that if it's more manageable for me to be able to digest the information, because all I know that I'm going to do is highlight the heck out of it, and there's going to be flags galore. But this year, as I'm doing all these anti-brain rot challenge, I'm approaching it in even deeper way. I am writing in my books. I know for all you that don't, I really like to have conversations in my books. I do treat them very sacred, but I like having my dialogue in there. And I like when I look back to see what I wrote. If I flip through to look at a flag to see what it is that I was saying there. Sometimes they're hilarious. Sometimes I'm just like, what? Elaborate, or I need more, or I want to research more, or this is a great book. Like a lot of times too, that I will get a lot of references of other books that I want to get, and from the books, I will do that with them. But I am really enjoying that. Somebody had mentioned it the other day, that if you write in them, obviously you can't resell them. People don't want books with writing in it. Especially with its nonfiction. I don't really intend on reselling. If I ever have a book that I don't want, that's, especially when it's nonfiction, I will donate it to the library. So if somebody doesn't want the handwriting, they don't have to see, they don't have to pick it up. But if they want it for free and get the same content in there, they can do that. So I don't mind. I actually really like it. So I call it having a conversation with the author. So I hope you found something in here. Let me know if you've read any of these. Let me know if you're reading anything for Women's History Month. Let me know what I need to add on my list, because it's okay. Don't worry about me not finishing or not starting some of these already yet. I don't mind adding more books to my list, because I think it's an ongoing process, right? We're never going to be done. We're always going to be finding more. There's always more people to learn about, more topics to read. So I am very open to, I'm just going to try to get them all so you can see them all. That's a big old pile of books. And this one, oh my gosh. Don't forget this book over here. Oh, I'm going to drop them. I don't want to drop these. Okay. All right. So there they are. Oh my goodness. And the chair's rocking. She's a rocking. Okay, hold on. There they all are. I can't really. Okay, quick hold. Yeah. We'll exercise there. Definitely see if you can pick up some of these books. I think you will definitely enjoy them. And I want to know what you're reading. And I will talk to you guys later. I can't believe the chair rocked. I was like two-legging it. I will talk to you later. Bye.